Want to know the secret to getting a high-end look on a Dollar Tree budget? Keep watching. Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Shannon from TheDailyDIYer.com and my goal is to save you money, showing you how to DIY versus buy. And today you'll learn how to turn some very affordable finds into some high-end looking decor that you can use for 4th of July. And make sure to stay tuned to the very end as I'll show you exactly how much money we are going to save by DIYing instead of buying. And thank you to my friends over at This Month's Craft for sponsoring today's video. I can't wait to share with you what's inside this box. So stay tuned. We're going to dive into the first project and I'll tell you a little bit more about this here shortly. This Pottery Barn setup is very sleek and classy looking, but we're going to get this look for less by using Dollar Tree mini flags and a cute little vase that I found there, opposed to the $19.50 price tag from the Pottery Barn version. So this is a set that is from Dollar Tree, $1.25 for 3 flags, or here's another option. I found these other kind of fabric flags at the farm store of all places, and they were only about 98 cents each. Both of those flags were a little bit too crispy, white, and clean looking, so we're going to upgrade these to give them more of that Pottery Barn look by tea staining them. And I actually have authentic Boston Harbor tea from last time I visited Boston, so no, you don't have to use this, but I thought it was a fun way to use something that I already had on hand, but you can even find tea at Dollar Tree. So I just put a cup of water into the microwave for 2 minutes, added 2 tea bags, and let it steep for about 10 minutes. So here it is, we got that beautiful tea dark stain that we can now use to add to these flags. So we're gonna do a little bit of an experiment here. The flags from Dollar Tree are almost more of like a plastic, so I wasn't sure if this stain would really take to it, so we're gonna try it anyway. I'm just using a paintbrush, painting on that liquid tea, and we're also gonna do that to the farm store flag, which is more of a fabric material. Another thing that I liked about the smaller flag is the stick was wood, so I was able to add a little bit of tea stain to that as well, whereas the Dollar Tree ones are plastic, so they're not going to take on that tea stain look, but you can add a little paint to the stick if you wanted to use the Dollar Tree version. In our Pottery Barn inspiration, they had the flags in pretty glass jars, so look at this one. Can you believe this is Dollar Tree? I just took the little plug out of the top and then used that as the container to put the flags. So here is our Dollar Tree flag with a little bit of that tea stain on there, so it did tone it down a little bit. A great option here. So this whole setup was only about $2.50. Now here are the farm store flags, the more fabric ones with the tea stain on them that made them a little bit more vintage and antique looking, which I really love that look. Now this look with 3 of those flags in the Dollar Tree vase is $4.25, so still a really great bargain here. No matter what your budget is, you can go for all Dollar Tree, upgrade a little bit, and either way you go, you're still going to save a bundle. As we remember, the Pottery Barn version flags were $19.50 versus ours, which were a combination of either $2.50 or $4.25. And here is a bonus hack for you, a freebie actually, as I'm sure I'm going to get questions about the artwork up here. It's actually a YouTube screensaver. Sure enough, go to YouTube, search 4th of July screensavers. You'll get a ton of different options, and this is the one specifically that is used on my TV, which is not a special TV at all, and it plays for about an hour, so you'll have to kind of loop it if you want to continue it all day long, but such a great way to save some money and make your TV into art. And the moment you've been waiting for, let's see what's inside this box. If you've ever wanted to try a new hobby without spending a fortune or stressing over supplies, this month's craft is for you. Believe me, I know trying a new craft on your own can be a lot. Figuring out what to make, shopping for materials, wondering if you've got the right tools, and it adds up fast. That's why I love this month's craft. Every month, they send you a complete craft kit right to your front door. No guesswork, no prep, just open the box and create. It's always a fun surprise, and this month's box included a fun soap making kit with all the supplies. And if you can believe it, I have never made soap before, but it's very similar to candle making, which I do love, so I had so much fun with this. And as I said, everything was inside the box, the supplies, the instructions, and it took the pressure off and made it fun, just like crafting should be. And what's truly great about it is that you're not stuck with one type of project. Every month is something new. Here's a few past boxes they've sent me. It's an easy and affordable way to explore different hobbies and find what truly sparks your creativity without having to invest in a ton of supplies. So if you're ready to start your own crafting journey or just need a creative pick-me-up, click the link below and use code DailyDIY to get 20% off your first month's box. Start your hobby adventure today with this month's craft. You'll love it as much as I do. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of reimagining of a Dollar Tree item to make it look more like a Pottery Barn high-end item. And we're going to do that with this Dollar Tree bow today. We're actually going to take the middle of this bow off. It's just held on with a bread tie. Hang on to that because that may come in handy later for us. And then you're going to need some burlap ribbon. This is going to add some texture to our bow, make it look much more high-end. So we're going to layer this up just by making a simple bow tie bow, creasing the center, and using a zip tie to hold the middle together. We are also going to add some burlap ribbon to the bottom to give it some tails. It's going to help pull this all together and again give it more of a custom look. So I've just cut off a long section, taken the flat ends, put those together, folded it in half. We're going to cut a triangle off the bottom, which is going to create a really pretty dovetail effect on the bottom of our bow's tails. In the middle there, smush those centers together and then add that to the bottom of the burlap bow that we added to the top. Again, using a zip tie here to keep it all together. So I purposely made the burlap ribbon shorter than the Dollar Tree ribbon tails because we're going to cut the bottom of those tails off. You'll see in our Pottery Barn inspiration piece that it has the blue star center of the bow. So we're going to save those pieces we just cut off. We're then going to dovetail the bottom of the new size tails the way we did the burlap ones to make this look more finished and have the same effect as the burlap. So what I did is I took that blue and white ribbon and I glued it together on the straight ends, folded it so it had nice finished edges, and then hot glued that around the center of the bow to again give it more of what the Pottery Barn inspiration looks like. So what you may not have noticed is that the Pottery Barn version also has lights in it. So we're gonna do that very easily by adding some fairy lights. Dollar Tree does have the one with the AA battery pack, but I would highly suggest grabbing some of these from Amazon. They have the watch battery, so they are much more smaller and they are twice as long. So if you do the Dollar Tree ones, you can, but you're gonna need 2 of them, 1 for each tail since it's shorter. Or I'll link these Amazon lights down in the description box below for you. They are comparable in price. You get a nice set of them and they are so much easier to add to your decor. So what I did is I put the battery pack in the back and then just kind of doubled up the sides to give twice the amount of lights on each one of the tails. Kind of wound them around there. They're super lightweight. They're made of wire, so where you put them, they're gonna stay. And then just added it to my front door wreath. We saved an absolute bundle by DIYing versus buying. The Pottery Barn one, $89. Our bow only cost $3.50. If you've watched my prior videos, you know I've been trying to create a Pottery Barn style porch all year, and we're not going to stop here for our 4th of July decorations. We're actually going to make a couple more items that are going to save us money and give us that Pottery Barn look, starting with this flag pillow. In my last Pottery Barn dupes video, I created this striped Pottery Barn pillow, which was another great dupe and savings. If you want to see that full tutorial, I'll link that video down below for you. Great one to watch next. We're actually going to flip this over and make it double duty. So one side's going to be every day and the other side is going to be for 4th of July. So what we're going to do is I took a piece of foam board from Dollar Tree, cut it down and made it fit on the inside of the pillow because we're going to be gluing a flag to the front and I don't want this pillow sticking together, so we can add that pillow form back in there. So you can use the Dollar Tree ones, but while I was at the farm store, I found the larger sized flags that I really loved, the more fabric style. So again, depending on your budget, the Dollar Tree ones are 3 for $1.25. This flag right here is about $1.50 each. I did go ahead and remove the flag very carefully from the stick so we didn't damage the flag at all. And then if you've never heard of fabric tack, this is definitely something you want in your craft stash and crafting arsenal. It is such a great glue for bonding fabrics together, and it's going to be great for outdoor use too. So I will link this glue down in the description box below for you, but I've just added some to the back side of the flag and attached it to the pillow form. Easy as that. If you love to use your sewing machine, go ahead and sew these on there too. That would make them much more permanent, maybe give them a little bit more fancy of a look. Totally up to you. I love using glue any chance I get. So we did that instead, but the original $69.50, ours was only $8. And I'll also be sure to link that pillow form down in the description box below for you too. Up next, we're going to make a patriotic doormat, which this one you're definitely going to have to DIY versus buy, because when I found this on their website, it was $49 and it is no longer available on there. So if you like this look, you're definitely going to have to DIY because you're not going to be able to buy it. So the tip and trick here is to grab one of these jute rugs from Amazon. I'll link it down below for you, versus the cheaper kind of sisal traditional rugs that you get from like Hobby Lobby or Walmart, the cheaper ones. If you spend a little bit more on these, you're going to get that more higher end look, and they're not that much more expensive. So again, I'll link down below for you. What I'm doing here is I'm adding some painter's tape. I'm going to link the painter's tape below for you too, because this is thinner tape versus the traditional kind that you just get in the painting section at Walmart or the hardware store. So again, link down below, but I've just added 3 stripes of the tape. We're going to start with the red and blue paint. This is regular acrylic paint. You can go to Walmart and get it. I think mine's from Hobby Lobby, so I'll link the colors down below for you too, because I'm always picky about colors. I wanted some darker red. I wanted this to look more aged and vintage versus like bright red and bright blue, but that is totally up to you. A tip for you too is I actually used a foam paintbrush to do the majority of the painting on here, but if you take a smaller bristle brush, that's going to help you get down into some of those nooks and crannies that are down in your doormat. So I started with the red, next up was blue, did as good of a coat of both of those, just one coat, because again, I want this to look kind of rustic, kind of vintage and aged looking. And once those were dry, I peeled the tape off, and we're gonna then add some more of that same tape to cover up the red and the blue stripes so we can add the white stripe down the middle. Looks pretty good, right? So let that dry, and then a huge tip and trick here is to use some Scotchgard. I like this kind because it not only is waterproof, but it's UV protectant too. So I put this on everything that goes outside, from rugs to pillows to my faux plants, which you'll see on my porch here. You can see those ferns, those are faux, those got some of that spray as well. Layered it onto a Target doormat, and look how cute this is, and this whole porch truly just came together with that Pottery Barn look for a heck of a lot less. Let's see this one here. $49.50 for the original one. Ours only cost $23. And I have some more DIYs for you, but let's take one more look at this whole porch put together with our 3 Pottery Barn dupes. So this DIY, I fell in love with these placemats. I thought these are so pretty. I just wanted them for my own home. So we're gonna hack and DIY these, 4 of them for nearly $40 on clearance, making them about $10 each. We're gonna do this for so much less. So I am gonna link these placemats down below. They're not technically placemats. Hint, hint, they're actually called bread towels. They are a thick material. If you make homemade bread, you probably know what these are, and I've used them for placemats in the past, so I already had a couple on hand. So always use what you have, but if you want to recreate this, I will link this one specifically down below for you. We're going to add stripes to the right half of this, and we're going to add stars to the left, just like our inspiration Pottery Barn piece. So we used painter's tape for the stripes, and then I used my Cricut machine to cut out some stars out of some vinyl for this left side. You can always go to the craft store and find star stickers, or use some vinyl and cut out your own stars with some scissors if you want to recreate this and don't have a vinyl machine. So what I'm doing here is evenly spacing them out, 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and then offsetting the 2 in the center. Now I'm using the exact same acrylic paint that I used for the doormat in our last project to paint this placemat. So I'm using a foam paintbrush here. I want to do 1 coat, so I'm going in there kind of heavily. We don't want too much paint, we want good coverage. So there's a good difference between the 2 of those. We also don't want our paint to bleed underneath our painter's tape or our vinyl here. So tap up and down. You're going to use enough paint to get good coverage, but not too much paint that you're going to get paint bleed. Now before that paint dries, I do go ahead and remove the vinyl stickers here, one at a time, and you'll see the really pretty star field of our placemat coming to life. Now for the red stripes, again, the same red paint I used on the doormat. Again, these will be linked down below for you. We're just gonna take, again, a foam paintbrush, dab up and down, doing our best to add just 1 coat of paint here so we don't have to do 2. You can see on the left side, there are some patchy spots. I wanted that. I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to have some of that rustic feel, which is the vibe of this patriotic and Americana look that we're going for that mimics Pottery Barn. And again, while the paint is still wet, we're going to remove the painter's tape. I feel like this part is always so satisfying. So I did only end up making 1 of these. It just made for a really pretty kind of accent on my bookshelf unit. Added a splash of that Americana under things that I already had, which I love. You don't have to buy more things. You can make a simple placemat, add it to where you already have some things, and look at this. The original price for 1 would have been $9.74. Ours only cost $2.50 to make. Let's bring in a fun food element for this next DIY. So this charcuterie was $49.50. Absolutely not. Probably something I'd only use once or twice a year. So instead I went to Hobby Lobby, found this wood-shaped America, $4.29. And sometimes I think you can get these on sale too. So we're going to use that as our charcuterie board instead. And to prep it, I did wash it with some soap and water, let it dry all the way. And I'm going to add some cutting board oil to help protect it. It's going to protect the wood. It's also going to help protect and make it food safe. So one of my tips and tricks whenever you're recreating something that looks high-end but you're trying to DIY it is to have that inspiration photo close by so you can recreate all those little details. And that's exactly what I'm doing here while I'm adding the food elements to the charcuterie. So I am doing my best to make it look as close to the Pottery Barn version as I can. You can go hog wild here if you just want to like use whatever food you want, but I really wanted mine to look as much like the original as I could. So I'm using the same types of items like the brie and the little jar of jelly, some wedges of cheese. The prosciutto, the raspberries. I didn't have any, or I couldn't find any of the breadsticks that it looked like were in the original, but I did find some very similar pretzel rod sticks that worked. And then I'm just gonna add some pistachios and some grapes around here. I do always recommend using something small and tiny, which is gonna help to fill up any of the gaps that are in your charcuterie board. So whether it's a sweet item or a savory item, it just kind of helps to fill in those gaps and make it all come together. Layering is another one of those Pottery Barn tips and tricks. So I added the charcuterie onto another cutting board that I already had. We're gonna add the little spoon and knife to this, and then in the original one, it looked like they had rosemary on the brie. I don't have rosemary, but I do have parsley in the garden, so I went and clipped a little sprig of that and added that right on top. And that little bit of green really just made this pop and come together and look fancy, even though all of these items are from Walmart. So no, it's not the ceramic charcuterie that was nearly $50 from Pottery Barn, but I still think it has a really great high-end look with the help of that Hobby Lobby wood cutout. So the original was $49.50. Ours only cost $4.59. So here's the big reveal. If you purchased all of this from Pottery Barn, retail price $290.87. But if you DIY versus buy, you're only gonna have to spend $45.84, which is an 85% savings. That is a lot of great high-end looking items for under $50, and I think that is a great deal. I think those pillows were my favorite DIY of this video, but you let me know what your favorite was down in the comments below. I'll also have all the supplies linked down below for you, along with a link to this month's craft that you're gonna wanna give a try. And if you love that high-end look but wanna stay on a Dollar Tree budget, I'll have more Pottery Barn dupe videos popping up on your screen. Pick which one is your favorite, head on over, and I will see you there. And if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you right back here in 1 week for another brand new DIY video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a creative day.